Crossroads, Hagerstown. Story 4, Heroin Highway. The first rule of moving freight was simple. Don't look like you're doing anything special. That was the rule that kept Travis Weller alive for 15 years on the road. 15 years of hauling furniture, appliances, paper goods, engine parts, bottled water. 15 years of early mornings and late nights, of cheap coffee and expensive tires, of listening to the same songs until they lost meaning. Most people thought truck drivers lived alone. Travis didn't. He lived with deadlines. And lately, he lived with debt. He rolled eastbound on I-70 with a load of cleaning supplies in the trailer and a knot in his chest that hadn't loosened in months. Hagerstown was 30 minutes ahead. He knew that stretch of highway like muscle memory. The hills, the curves, the way the wind hit the cab near certain overpasses, the exits where state troopers like to sit like vultures with blue lights tucked away. This run should have been routine. But routine didn't call you from unknown numbers at midnight. Routine didn't tell you to stop at a rest area and wait for a man you'd never met. Travis glanced at his phone sitting in the cup holder. A text from earlier still glowed on the screen like a dare. Exit 29, rest area, 4:10 p.m. Don't be late. No name, just instructions. Travis swallowed. He told himself he wasn't doing anything illegal. Not technically. He was just moving an item. That's what they'd said. An item. They didn't say drugs. They didn't say heroin. They didn't say fentanyl. They didn't say the word that haunted local news anchors every night. They didn't have to. Travis knew what item meant in a town like Hagerstown. He also knew what his hospital bills meant. His wife, Denise, needed surgery for her back. The insurance had covered some, but not enough. The copays were stacking. The rehab sessions were stacking. The prescription costs were stacking. And the mortgage didn't care about pain. The bank didn't care about her being unable to work. Travis had tried overtime. He'd tried picking up weekend runs. It wasn't enough. Then the call came. A man's voice, calm and polite, like a businessman asking for a delivery. "We heard you're reliable," the voice had said. Travis had laughed bitterly. "Reliable? Don't pay my bills." The man had paused, like he'd expected that answer. "We can," the man said. "One trip, cash. No questions. No risk if you do what you're told." Travis had told him no. He'd hung up. Then the voice had called back. "We know about Denise," the man said gently. "We know you're scared." Travis's stomach had dropped. "How? You want your wife to walk again," the man said, as if he were offering a gift. "Let us help. Exit 29, rest area, 4:10. The line had gone dead, and Travis had stared at his phone, sweating, as the walls of his life closed in. Now, on I-70, he stared at the road ahead and tried to convince himself that he was still the good guy. Good guys did hard things for their families. That's what he told himself. But deep down, he knew another truth. Good guys didn't get calls like this, not unless they were already close to the edge. He pulled into the rest area at 4:08. The lot was half full. Cars, RVs, a few other rigs. Families stretching their legs, kids running toward vending machines. Travis parked in the far corner. He turned off the engine. The silence hit him hard. He checked his mirrors. Nothing. He checked again. Still nothing. At 4:10 exactly, a black SUV rolled into the lot and stopped 2 spaces away. It didn't park close. It parked like it wasn't trying to hide, because hiding was suspicious. The driver didn't get out. The passenger door opened. A man stepped out. He looked ordinary, mid-30s, dark jacket, short hair, clean hands. Not the type Travis would have pictured if someone said, drug traffic. The man walked toward the cab, like he owned the air around him. Travis watched him through the windshield. The man stopped at the driver's side door. He tapped the window twice. Travis hesitated, then rolled it down. The man smiled slightly. "Travis Weller?" he asked. Travis's throat tightened. "Yeah," he said. The man's voice was calm. "You're on time. That's good." Travis clenched his jaw. "What do you want?" The man leaned in slightly, lowering his voice. "Relax," he said. "We're not here to scare you. We're here to pay you." Travis swallowed. The man held up a small, padded envelope. "See this?" he asked. "You're going to put it in your cab, under the seat." Travis stared at the envelope. "What is it?" he demanded. The man's smile didn't move. "An item," he said simply. Travis's hands tightened on the steering wheel. "I said I wasn't," Travis started. The man lifted a hand gently. "We know what you said," he replied, "but we also know what you need." The man's eyes sharpened just slightly. "You want to tell Denise you can't pay for her therapy?" he asked softly. "You want to watch her lay in bed, crying because she can't move? Because I promise you—" He paused. "That's a kind of prison, too." Travis's breath caught. The man didn't push the envelope into the cab yet. He waited, like he was letting Travis decide whether he wanted to be forced. Travis stared at the envelope. Then he thought of Denise's face last night when she tried to stand and couldn't. He thought of the way she apologized, like being in pain was something she was doing wrong. He swallowed hard. "Where am I taking it?" Travis asked. The man's smile returned. "Hagerstown," he said, like it was obvious. "Exit 32. You'll go to a truck stop off Dual Highway. You'll park by the dumpsters, far side. At 5:05, someone will knock on your passenger door. You will hand them the envelope. You will not talk. You will not stare. You will go back on the road." Travis's mouth went dry. "And then what?" he asked. The man's eyes held his. "Then you get paid," he said. Travis's voice shook. "How much?" The man slid the envelope into the cab and placed another envelope on top of it. This one was thicker. Cash. Travis's eyes widened. "Half now," the man said. "Half when it's done." Travis stared at the money. It looked like oxygen. "Why me?" Travis whispered. The man shrugged. "Because you don't look like a criminal," he said. "You look like a man trying to survive." Then the man stepped back from the cab. He tapped the door twice like a polite goodbye. "Drive safe," he said. He walked back to the SUV. It rolled away like nothing happened. Travis sat there, frozen, staring at the cash. His hands trembled. He wanted to throw it out the window. He wanted to clutch it like salvation. Instead, he started the engine. The truck rumbled to life, and Travis drove toward Hagerstown. Hagerstown didn't announce itself with a sign. It announced itself with a feeling, a tightening in the stomach, a subtle change in the road, the way the buildings started looking like they'd been weathered by the same storms for too long. Travis took exit 32 and merged onto local roads. He passed the downtown murals, the boarded windows, the new banners that tried to sell hope in bright colors. He passed the warehouse district where new construction fences stood like promises. He passed clusters of people standing too long in the same place. He'd heard people call it the Heroin Highway, I-70, a vein, a pipeline, a steady stream. Travis used to roll through this town and feel nothing. Now, every streetlight felt like an eye. He reached the truck stop off Dual Highway at 4:57, too early. He parked by the dumpsters on the far side like instructed. He kept his hands on the wheel. He watched the mirror. At 5:02, a white sedan pulled in and parked 2 spaces away. A man got out, walked inside the convenience store, came back out with a soda. At 5:04, a woman walked past, talking loudly on her phone, laughing. At 5:05 exactly, someone knocked on Travis's passenger door. Travis's heart hammered. He didn't look right away. He didn't want to see the face, but he had to. He turned his head slowly. A young man stood there, maybe 20, hood up, skin pale, eyes too sharp for his age. He looked like someone who hadn't slept in a week. Travis's throat tightened. The young man didn't speak. He just held his hand out. Travis reached under the seat, grabbed the padded envelope, and handed it over. Their fingers brushed briefly. The young man's hand was cold. He took the envelope and nodded once. Then he walked away. No words, no thanks, no threats, just transaction. Travis sat there shaking, staring at the spot where the young man disappeared. Then he heard another sound, a car door slamming. He glanced toward the white sedan. The man with the soda wasn't drinking it. He was watching Travis. Travis's skin went cold. The man reached into his pocket, pulled out a phone, and held it up like he was taking a picture. Travis's lungs stopped. Police? Dealer? Who? Travis didn't know. He started the truck fast, too fast. He pulled out of the lot, tires crunching gravel. His heart was pounding so hard it hurt. He merged back onto the road, gripping the wheel like it was the only thing keeping him alive. In his side mirror, he saw the white sedan pull out behind him, following. Travis's mouth went dry. He drove faster, trying to stay calm, trying not to look guilty. But guilt doesn't care what you look like. The sedan stayed behind him, steady, not aggressive, not flashing lights, just there. Travis's phone buzzed, unknown number again. He answered without thinking. "Hello?" he gasped. The voice came through, calm. "Keep driving," the voice said. Travis's stomach dropped. "Who is this?" Travis demanded. "You see the sedan," the voice said, ignoring his question. "That's not us." Travis's skin went icy. "What do you mean?" he whispered. The voice stayed calm. "It means someone noticed," the man said. "It means someone else wants what we're moving." Travis's throat tightened. "Who?" he asked. The man chuckled softly. "Welcome to the highway," he said. "Everybody thinks they own a lane." The line went dead. Travis stared at the road, sweating. The sedan stayed behind him. Travis turned onto a side road near the warehouse district, hoping to lose it. The sedan turned too. Travis's hands trembled. He turned again. The sedan matched. He felt panic bloom. He was trapped in a chase he didn't understand, carrying something he didn't even get to see. He saw a gas station ahead, bright lights, people, cameras. He pulled in fast, parking near the front. He jumped out and walked inside, trying to look normal. His legs felt like rubber. Inside, he grabbed a bottle of water he didn't want and went to the counter. The cashier barely looked at him. Travis glanced out the window. The sedan pulled in and parked across the lot. The man stepped out. Not a cop, no uniform, no badge. Just a man in a hoodie and jeans, average face, average build, the kind of man you could forget instantly if you weren't terrified. He didn't come inside. He stood by the sedan, watching. Travis's breath caught. The cashier said, "That'll be $2.49. Travis handed over money with shaking fingers. He walked back outside. The man didn't move. Travis approached slowly, trying to summon courage he didn't have. "What do you want?" Travis asked, voice low. The man smiled slightly. "You're Travis," the man said. Travis's stomach dropped. "How you know?" Travis started. The man cut him off. "We know," he said simply. "We want you to do another job." Travis's throat tightened. "I'm done," Travis said quickly. "I already delivered. That's it." The man's smile stayed. "You delivered," he agreed. "But you delivered to the wrong people." Travis froze. "What?" Travis whispered. The man stepped closer. "You think you're just moving an envelope," the man said. "You're moving territory. You're moving control, and you didn't even know the war you stepped into." Travis's heart pounded. "I didn't want no war," Travis whispered. The man laughed softly. "War don't care what you want," he said. Then his eyes hardened. "You got two choices. You can help us, or you can go home and pray your wife stays safe." Travis felt his stomach drop through the floor. "You threatening my wife?" he demanded, voice shaking with rage. The man shrugged. "I'm stating reality," he said. "You're on the highway now. Everybody who touches it gets touched back." Travis's hands clenched. "I'm calling the police," he said, though he knew it was a lie. The man smiled wider. "Go ahead," he said. "Tell them what? That you've been delivering envelopes for strangers? That you got paid in cash? That you don't know what you moved, but you moved it anyway?" Travis went silent. The man stepped back. He pointed toward the truck. "We'll be in touch," he said. "Don't ignore us." Then he climbed into the sedan and drove away. Travis stood there in the gas station lot, shaking violently. He stared at his truck. It looked the same, but now it felt like a coffin on wheels. Travis drove home that night with his knuckles white. He didn't stop for food. He didn't stop for coffee. He didn't stop for anything, because stopping meant being caught. When he pulled into his driveway, the porch light was on. Denise sat in the living room, waiting. She looked up when he walked in. Her face softened. "You're home," she said. Travis nodded. He set his keys down like they were too heavy. Denise's eyes searched his face. You okay? She asked. Travis swallowed. He pulled the cash envelope from his jacket. He placed it on the table like a confession. Denise stared. What is that? She whispered. Travis's voice cracked. Money, he said. Denise blinked. From where? She asked. Travis stared at the floor. Denise's voice sharpened. Travis, she said. From where? Travis's throat tightened. I did something, he admitted. Denise's eyes widened. What did you do? She demanded. Travis sat down hard on the couch like his legs finally gave up. I moved something, he whispered. On the highway. They paid me. Denise stared at him like she didn't recognize him. Travis. Her voice trembled. What did you move? Travis shook his head. I don't know, he whispered, but I know what it was. Denise's face went pale. Oh my God, she breathed. Travis's eyes burned. I did it for you, he said, voice breaking. For us. Denise's eyes filled with tears. And now what? She whispered. Travis stared at the wall. Now what? That was the question that followed every bad decision. His phone buzzed on the table. Unknown number. Travis froze. Denise looked at the phone like it was a snake. Travis stared at it, breathing shallow. It buzzed again. He answered. Hello? He whispered. The voice on the other end was calm. Travis, the man said, we need another delivery. Travis's chest tightened. No, Travis said quickly. I'm done. The man's voice stayed calm. We're not done, he said. And you can't just walk away. You're in it now. Travis swallowed hard. What if I go to the police? He asked, voice shaking. The man chuckled softly. You can't unring a bell, he said, and you're not the only one who wants you. Travis's skin went cold. What do you mean? He whispered. The man's voice lowered. It means, the man said, there are people on this highway who don't care about your wife's back pain. They don't care about your mortgage. They care about product, and they think you cost them. Travis's mouth went dry. I didn't, he started. The man cut him off. Meet us tomorrow, he said. Exit 29, same place. We'll tell you what happens next. The line went dead. Travis sat frozen with the phone in his hand. Denise stared at him, trembling. What did they say? She whispered. Travis looked at her. His eyes were wet. They said I'm in it now, he whispered. Denise's face crumpled. She covered her mouth, sobbing quietly. Travis stared at the cash on the table. It didn't look like salvation anymore. It looked like bait, like a chain. Outside, a truck roared past on the distant highway, a low rumble that shook the window pane. The sound used to mean work. Now it meant something else. It meant the pipeline kept flowing. It meant the highway didn't stop for anyone. It meant Hagerstown was just one point on a line that stretched farther than Travis could see. Travis leaned forward, elbows on knees, head in his hands. He whispered, low enough for only himself to hear. I just wanted to help my wife. But the highway didn't care what he wanted. The highway only cared that he had stepped onto it, and now it was going to decide what he became. This concludes Chapter 4. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like and subscribe.